All right. It's always fun to start recording after we've already been on for a little while, but welcome to the Fit Warriors team call. I'm Amanda. For those of you that may not know me, I think everybody does, but I know that we have some goal getters on here as well. I see an unfamiliar face, Lindsay Akers. So hi, I'm Amanda. Nice to meet you. I think I know everybody else. But I am the founder of Fit Warriors. I'm one of Lindsay Gray's personally sponsored coaches. We've basically been in the business together almost from day one. So I've almost been in the business 4 years. It will be 4 years in November. And I just walked away from my full-time job to do this full-time in June. So I'm super excited. It's been definitely an adventure and a journey already, but I love it. And I just know that good, big things are going to happen very soon. So I'm excited. So Lindsay messaged me yesterday and she was like, hey, are you doing a team call tomorrow? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, because I've gotten like 2 hours of sleep and can I put my people on your call? What's it going to be on? I was like, sure. I don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but sure. And so then I just like literally off the top of my head, I think Facebook Live is like so important. And I don't think even myself, I've been wanting to, I think this was more for me to challenge myself to do it more often. And I actually went live today, actually spur of the moment, not even on purpose. It wasn't planned, but I was going to cut sweet potatoes. And last week, a friend of mine, either on my Snap or something, on somewhere where I had said like, I make sweet potatoes every week or something. She was like, sweet potatoes are so hard to cut. And I was like, what? Like, really? All right, I'm going to make a video about this. And like, I literally just made a video on how I cut sweet potatoes. And maybe it's different than how other people cut sweet potatoes, but it helped her. I tagged her in it and I said, hey, I think you were the one that asked about this. And she was like, thank you so much. So you never know. Like, you can't think of it as like, oh my gosh, people aren't going to want to see this, or people aren't going to what do they care about how to cut sweet potatoes? Like, somebody might, so you never know. So like, if you have an idea of something that you are really good at and you can share, start making a list. So let's start with that. So I'm going to share my screen because I do have a little presentation to go through. I'm going to try and not, like when I go in full screen, I don't like it because then I can't see you guys. But you can see it this way, right? Okay. So basically with Facebook Live, you guys, it's still fairly new. It's only been available to us, to like the public, for probably a little over a year. I think it was last January, so January of 2016, it came out for like pages and like just some business pages. And then by like March or April, I think, of last year is when it came out for everybody. And it kind of trickled out. So you had to make sure that your app was updated. And there were some things that, you know, I might have gotten it before you did because it was just kind of trickling down. However they decide who gets what, who knows, right? So I would not say that I took super advantage of it, but I did dabble in it right when it came out, because it's always like when something new comes out, you got to do it because you got to be one of the first people. And honestly, if you think about it now, it's still very new and it's still not very widely used, which is awesome. Like, if you think of like the very first people who ever had YouTube, guess how many subscribers they have? They have like millions because they were one of the first. And they're probably like making money off their YouTube. Or you think of like early adopters of things, they're always, you know, becoming better, and then they're able to share that with others. So my business coaches, that's where I got this information from, were definitely very early adopters. They saw that this could benefit you, benefit them, benefit us, as coaches, as people who like to share, who aren't afraid to be vulnerable, or to share tips or inspiration or entertainment, right? There's our tie, teach, inspire, entertain, all right there. You can use Facebook Live to do that. So My business coaches actually met each other because one watched another's Facebook Live, and then they were like in a Facebook group together, and now they're business partners. Like, that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't because of the one watching the other one's live, connecting with her because she loved her personality and just really saw that like they would probably get each other and really work well together, because when you're on video, people can really see who you are. You can hide behind text and pictures. When you're on live video, you can't hide. Like, you gotta be you. And remember, people are not joining Beachbody. People are joining you. So you have to show you to your audience. And that's how you're going to get more people to join you and to connect with you. So I'm going to give you some tips on what to do before you go live, even before you open Facebook and push that button, because there are some very important things to do. One of those being even before the technical aspect. So I'm going to talk before even that, because the biggest question many times that I get from people is, well, I don't know what to talk about, right? Like, if you don't know what to talk about, put something in the chat box. Can I open the chat box here? Like, what do you struggle with most with Facebook Live? We can kind of make this interactive tonight, because this is something that I know people want to do, but then get scared to do, so they don't do it. And I know one of the big things, because I know in my business group, one of the big things is I never know what to talk about. So one thing you need to do is in your phone or keep a notebook with you at all times somewhere. Keep a list of topics. Like, as you go through your day, things pop up that you're like, oh, I bet I could share about that, right? And maybe it doesn't always have to be a live, but we're speaking specifically about live today. And so I have like a list of topics that, like, many times it happens when I'm listening to a podcast, or I'm watching a video, or I'm reading my personal development. That's many times where I get my ideas. A lot of people get their ideas in the shower, while they're working out. So keep either a notebook or your phone with you where you can just have like a list of topics. So then you never are like without anything to talk about. You have a list and you can always go to that list and just talk about it. Something that always paralyzes me is that I think too much about it. And so I have a list of topics, but then I'm like, oh, but that doesn't go with like what I'm promoting this week, or that's like, I don't know, no one cares about that this week, or, and those are the types of things that I need to just like get rid of and let it not paralyze me and just freaking do it and just start sharing more. So same with you, Sheila. You think too much and then So just keep a list, don't think about it, and just do it. But you do have to have kind of a plan. So you can't just like get on there without a plan. So we are going to talk about that. So with before the live, some technical things, which updating your Facebook app, I'm pretty sure you all of you have live by now, because it's been out, like I said, for over a year. But you never know. And now you can actually go live from your computer. If you didn't know that, you can go live from your computer, which is awesome. It should be on your computer. If it's not, then I don't know, but it should be. Always make sure you have a fully charged battery. And if necessary, like, keep your phone plugged in, which actually I need to plug my phone in right now so that I charge it. My photos is going to open in a second. Okay. Always have a full battery. Another good tip that I don't always think about, because I should do this because I get distracted very easily, I'm like a squirrel, is to turn on Do Not Disturb. So when you are going live, turn on Do Not Disturb on your phone so that you don't get disrupted by a text coming in or by a phone call coming in. Because sometimes a phone call will come in and it'll freeze your live, and then you're in the middle of something and you can't get back to it, and then it ends, and then you got to go do it again, and it's just a big pain in the butt. So turning on Do Not Disturb is a huge, huge, huge help. And then connect to a strong Wi-Fi signal. So that was a struggle in my last apartment. This apartment's been a little bit better, but my last apartment, and I know Megan struggles with strong Wi-Fi in her house, and I know a lot of people struggle with having strong Wi-Fi. So maybe you need to go outside. Maybe you need to go to a coffee shop. Maybe you need to go in your car. I don't know. And we're going to talk about like kind of setting the stage there, but definitely it's important to have a strong Wi-Fi signal, because if you've ever been on a live, and I know, Sheila, not to pick on you, but I know this has happened to you quite a bit, where it's like it's all scrambly, or like your words don't match up with what you're saying, and like it's super blurry and you can't see it. And so that's due to not having a strong Wi-Fi signal. Some things that you can do to help with that is to turn anything else that might be using Wi-Fi in your house off. So like don't have your kid on YouTube while you're trying to go live, because that does suck up a lot of Wi-Fi signal. What else? Like if you have even Pandora playing and Alexa, that's something that I have happen. I have to turn that off, or I used to in my old apartment when I had worse Wi-Fi. I have to turn that off when I'm going live, because it was taking the Wi-Fi from what I needed. So just some tips. Anytime, make sure anything else that has Wi-Fi is turned off. So those are just some technical things. Then we have some visual things to think about. This is all before you even open up Facebook and go live. Another thing is finding good lighting. So you want to be in front of a window. And if you don't have a nice space like in front of a window, you can get a Diva ring light. So I have one that just clips on my phone. I don't have like the big, huge thing that's like going to take up more space than I already take up in this apartment with all my workout stuff. But I have just like it's called the Diva ring light, clips on the top of my phone. It then adds, and I should grab it. It's in my bedroom, sorry. It adds light to my face. So right now, like the lighting that I'm under, I don't love. This is my desk area and there's a light right above me. I don't love this lighting. And even we have like track lighting all over our apartment, and it's just not wonderful for video. So today it was super bright out. So I actually was in my kitchen, turned the track lighting off, and got just the natural sunlight coming in. And I felt that looked a little bit better. Also, if you have a tripod or something that you can set your phone up where it's not going to fall over, oh my gosh, I laugh hysterically every time somebody is like going live and then their phone like falls over, and it's like it distracts the person that's watching it, and I don't want to watch them anymore. So either get a tripod. So I know like for my personally sponsored coaches, I got them all a tripod for Christmas. So it's a standing tripod that you can then prop your phone up in. It like suctions your phone like if you had a thing on your car. I actually have what is this called? A pop socket on the back of my phone. And then I have the thing that goes on your car. I actually have that on my tripod stand. So I just slip my phone right in there. That's also what I use for like my videos of my workouts and all kinds of things like that. You can get tripods pretty cheap on Amazon. I can share like the ones that I've used. I just got the little one that like you can wrap. I don't know why I didn't get all these things for you. They're all in my bedroom. But you can like stand it up. It's like it's like this big. I forget what it's called. Let me go grab it so I can show you. One sec. It's this little guy. You may have seen other Beachbody coaches with these at Summit or at any sort of live event. A lot of people carry these with them because they're super light. They're easy to grab. And these things like bend. So you can like put it up however you want. And this thing moves, and it comes with a remote actually too. So you can hold a remote and push video. So some people, I know one coach in particular, I know that she does this because I can see it. I'm always like, how does she videotape her workouts and not having to go back and forth to the tripod? She's got a little remote that she pushes play on, which is awesome. So having some sort of tripod is definitely helpful. This is what I used today for my sweet potato live that I went live for. And then setting the stage. So this is something that I always struggle with because I hate the background behind me right now is not visually appealing. But this is where I sit and work. So this is ideally where I would want to do my live, but I need to find a space that has like a good background. Like I may even there's a wall right here. I don't know, or something in my bedroom. Cause again, I want it to like go in our apartment, but I also want it to look pretty. So it's just hard to find that space that like has a good, nice background. Like I like behind Melissa right now. She's got a nice little cabinet back there. That would be great. Trying to see if anybody else has like a good background. Like Deborah could put just even like a picture or even a shelf with something like right behind her there. And that would even give it a little bit more visual appeal. You know, you want it to just be visually appealing for people to want to stop and watch your live, right? But you don't want it to be distracting. Like right now, I think my kitchen is super distracting. There's like stuff on the counters. I don't know, maybe you guys can't see it. Maybe it's just me, but you see like my front door and strange stuff. And then you always want to open your camera app and test the video on your phone. Make sure you look okay. Make sure you don't have a booger up your nose. That happened to me once. I did have a booger. And I was like, great, this is so wonderful. Or you don't have something in your teeth. I didn't notice it until the end of the live, and I just went with it. So just open your camera app and make sure that you look okay before you actually jump on Facebook Live. And make sure that everything behind you looks okay. The lighting's good. Everything behind you looks good. That the tripod's set up properly. That you got a good angle of yourself. All of those things. And then we have kind of the written tasks. So you need to brainstorm your topic. So we talked about having a list of topics that you could talk about. But then once you decide what you are actually going to talk about that day, you want to brainstorm what it is you're actually going to talk about, right? So that is even before bullet pointing your notes. Just kind of brainstorm all the things that you could talk about that topic. And then from that, you want to create like a juicy, really good title. Titles is what grabs people's attention. I'm going to look for, there's a document that my coaches created of just like good, juicy Facebook Live titles that really grab people's attention. But you want to try and get something that's going to like grab their attention. Maybe starts with like the beginning of a story. Like, you know, when I was 21 years old and anorexic, it could be that, ... I done one on something about, I forget what it was called now, something with the Weight Watchers. And it was like awesome because I told a whole story with it. We'll get more into that in a second. You could definitely announce that you're going live. So you can give your audience a heads up like, hey, in an hour, I'm going to be going live on XYZ. I would love to see you jump on and listen. And then write out a bullet point notes to reference. So like after you have brainstormed your topic, you know, everything that you could cover, then you want to put it into some sort of detailed structure for yourself. You don't want to write out every single thing that you're going to say so that you're sitting there reading it, because nobody wants to see you reading something. But you do want to have the bullet pointed notes that you can reference, and that's totally fine. So like I could easily, right now, if I'm going live, I can just set my notebook right here and kind of glance at it. And and that's totally fine. People don't expect you to like have everything memorized and you need to be perfect and XYZ. And every live is different. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. Kicking off the live. So decide where you're going live, because you could be going live on your Facebook personal profile. If you have a like page, you could go live in your like page. If you have a free group, you could be going live in your free group. You could be going live in your challenge group. You can now be going live on Instagram. So like, where are you going live? And you can actually go live in multiple places. So if you start a live, you can then share it with other places so that it's going live in multiple places. If you didn't know that. I didn't know that until yesterday, and I didn't do that, but because it does take some like that lull time at the beginning of the live, or you have to have somebody helping you. Like literally my business coach was like, I make my boyfriend like get on my computer, jump on really quick, click share, and share it to these different places. So that definitely is an option if you have somebody at home to help you to go and push live or push share and share it to the different groups that you want it to go to. So decide where you're going to go live. Like, who is this appropriate for? It may be a good place to start, and I'm going to give you guys a little challenge, is to just start in the Fit Warriors page. Share stuff with us, like, or in the Goal Getters page, either one. Like, just start sharing stuff with us to get you comfortable. Even if you jump on for a minute and tell a minute of your story, or tell us a little bit about yourself, like, that's cool. That start there until you get a little bit more comfortable, or then maybe you branch out to your challenge group. And then, because I feel so comfortable, you guys, I tried to go live in our Morning Lifesavers group. So Sheila, Vicky, and I have a group called the Morning Lifesavers, and it's a miracle morning group. And today we were talking about meditation. And after I took a shower this evening, before I jumped on the call with you guys, I did a 10-minute meditation, which I've not, I shouldn't say I've never done, but I'm going to start doing more often. And I was literally no makeup. I had just gotten out of the shower. My hair was in a towel and I was in a robe. And it didn't end up working because I couldn't keep Facebook Live open and do this guided meditation at the same time. And I was like, dang it. But I would never have done that in my personal profile, but maybe I should. Maybe it doesn't matter. But I went with half of the girls I don't even know, actually. And I just didn't care. So you got to just get over it. So decide where you're going to go live. Then you're going to click the live button and make sure you're in selfie view. Okay, so make sure it's all set up. This is before it goes live to anybody. Okay, you're clicking the live button in Facebook, and then it'll show you yourself. It should be showing your face. Then you're going to type in your title and click go live. And you want to be looking in the camera lens. Don't be looking down like, oh, 3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody, hi. You want to be like smiling, looking into the camera lens. The worst thing is like, and this happens to me way too often, the worst thing is to have like that picture, like when the video is just sitting there and like, it's like you like this, or like some stupid face. And you're like, oh man, apparently, I think there's a way to change that, but I need to do it on my next live and figure it out. But I think you can pick like what your still image is for the video during the live. So you want to start with energy and immediately deliver content. Now I'm going to give you guys a kind of an outline of what my business coaches suggest, and this is kind of how they run their lives, but this is not the only way to do a live. I did not do this today. I did open it with, do you guys have a problem cutting sweet potatoes? I just had a friend who messaged me last week telling me that she had a hard time cutting sweet potatoes. So I wanted to come on here, show you guys how to cut sweet potatoes. So I did like start it with kind of a story and kind of like giving them what I'm talking about, what I'm going to talk about, so that they know. And we're going to talk a little bit more in detail about that and like what that's called, or what my business coach calls that. So you want to state the title or the topic. So like I said at the beginning of my live, I said, hey, you can ask a question. You could start with a story. So when I was 21, I was anorexic. All I ate for all day was a banana, went out for New Year's Eve and drank way too much, and it wasn't a pretty sight. That's a real story. But that might get people's attention, right? Like, hey, I am Amanda Huber, blah, blah, blah. So you want to start with either a question, a story, or like specifically telling them what you're going to talk about. So, hey, today I'm going to tell you how to cut a sweet potato in the easiest, fastest way. If you don't know me, my name's Amanda Huber. So now you're going into introducing yourself. And when you're introducing yourself, you're including telling them who you are and why you're credible, why they should listen to you. Hi, I'm Amanda Huber. I'm a health and fitness coach, and I help women gain confidence through loving themselves first. So one thing that I learned through my business coaches was this: I help X with Y to get Z. So I help who, that's X. I help women. Maybe it's more specific for you. And I know I've talked about this before. Like, this is like your niche market. Like, who do you help? What do you help with? Okay. You don't just help with Beachbody stuff. You definitely have more to offer. And I know you do. Okay. So you got to figure out what that is. I help women gain confidence through loving themselves first. That's kind of what I'm going with, I'm going with right now. It's kind of changed quite a bit within this last year. Not really. It's all kind of doing the same thing, but I've changed kind of my specific niche. So hi, I'm Amanda Huber. I'm online health and fitness coach, and I help women just like you who are looking to gain confidence, and I really help you love yourself first. A lot of that has to do with eating the right foods. And today I'm going to show you how to cut a sweet potato, because I had a friend that told me it was really hard to cut a sweet potato, and I was like, what? Then I remembered that when I first started cutting sweet potatoes, I used to try and cut them long ways, and it was hard because a sweet potato is not perfectly round, and they're really hard to cut, especially when they're this long. Boom. And then I go into showing them how to cut a stinking sweet potato. Okay. But I told them what I was doing at the beginning. Maybe I asked that question, like, do you have trouble cutting sweet potatoes? Yeah, me too. Okay. And then I introduce myself, and then you're going to share 1 to 5 tips. So I shared a couple tips in my live on, like, I peel my sweet potatoes, and somebody asked, well, do I have to peel them? No, you don't have to. And then I shared how to cut them the other way rather than the long way. Cut them the other way into 1/2-inch strips, and then cut those into little cubes. Boom. That was it. And then I recapped my tips. Actually, I didn't in that one, but you can. So you want to recap your tips, answer any questions if anybody was on live, and then you always need to give a call to action. And it can't just be, message me if you want some help. You've got to be sending them somewhere. You've got to be inviting them to a free group, which is why I have an ongoing free group at all times now, this is part of the reason. So I always have a call to action. I always have somewhere to send people. If you love these tips today on how to cut sweet potatoes, I'm going to share a ton more of those over in my private Facebook community called Live Like You Love Yourself. Over the next few weeks, we're focusing on eating like you love yourself. All you need to do is go to www.livelikeYouLoveYourself.com to join. And I'm going to put that link in the comment section for you so that it's easy for you to just click and go there. Boom. So I gave them a place to go because I want to connect with them more. You're going to connect with them more in a private community. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is if you have a form or something for people to sign up to join you in your challenge group or in the business opportunity. So right now, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek of my website. I'm not saying that all of you need to go build a website right now, especially if you are a new coach, okay? or a fairly new coach. Please don't. This is if you're a little bit seasoned, you're looking to step up your game a little bit. If this is your full-time thing, if this is not your full-time thing, you probably don't have time to do this. I'm not going to recommend it to everybody, but I do want to show you that there is another way that you can do this. So I have this online wellness community page that has a form for people to fill out. So I can now send people, well, once I launch this, I can send people to this page to, if you're interested in joining my online wellness community, that's awesome. I give amazing inspiration and tips and recipes and meal plans. I really am your one-on-one coach. Head over to amandahubercoaching.com, head to the online wellness community and fill out the form, and we'll be in touch soon. You know, you always want to have somewhere to send them. And for right now, I am sure for most of you, it is going to be a free group. And that's awesome. Like, the free group is where it's at right now, you guys, because you're building trust, you're adding value, you're building credibility with these people. And that is where it's at. And then optional with the live, like during the live. You really have to decide, like, when you're going live, if it's appropriate for you to be interacting with the live viewers. And it really just depends on what you're talking about. Sometimes I'm a total squirrel. Like I said, I get super distracted. So sometimes I don't like to interact, because then I forget what I was going to talk about, which thankfully having a list of topics helps. But if you forget what you're going to talk about, this was another good tip that they said yesterday, or it said in the video. If you forget what you talk about, what you were going to say, just like, that's a good time to interact with your viewers. Be like, hey, if you feel the same way as me right now, like, give me some hearts, so then you can get your mind back on track, and get like back on track with your things. Sometimes it's appropriate for you to be. Thanks, Sheila. Sometimes it's appropriate. See, I just got distracted by the chat. Sometimes it's appropriate for you to interact. Like tonight, I totally would interact with you guys if you had questions, like while I was talking. So if you do have questions, go ahead and put them in the chat, and I will help. So yeah, so this, I have found that this video structure, it helped me feel like more professional, like I knew what I was talking about, that I just really liked this structure. If you guys have a chance, like, I highly suggest you go check out my business partners pages. Both Rich Bitch TV is one. Her name is Angie Lee. Or Hey Jen Casey. Guess what her name is? Jen Casey. They both are really, really good at live video. And actually, why don't I just show you one of them? Rich Bitch TV. She's freaking hilarious, you guys. She's my favorite person. Where are you going? Oh. Oh. All right. All right. So look at this title. I was naked when I came up with this. Like, does that not catch your eye? And then I don't know if you'll be able to hear her. Can you hear her? Can you hear her?
I'm so excited you're here. First of all, let me be real. I was naked when I came up with this idea a few days ago. In the shower, I was naked, and I thought, oh my God, this topic's brilliant. My people need to hear this. They need to know about this. How many of you guys, let's be real right now. Let's get really real with each other. We're friends now, right? We're friends. How many of you guys get your best ideas when you're naked? How many of you guys listen to my show when you're naked. A few of you have reached out and said, Angie, I listen to your show when I'm in the shower. And I love that, because not only is it multitasking and you guys are amazing and you're smart, but you're naked when you're listening to my show. And I think it's scientifically proven. I'm not sure who the boring dead scientist is, but I think it's proven that in the shower you get your best ideas. And I'm going to be real. Most of my ideas, my video ideas, my podcast ideas, most of them do come to me in the shower because it's white space, you're not in front of your computer, there's no distractions, and I truly believe it's kind of like meditation, where it's one of the only times where you really get to be at peace with yourself, and all of these creative ideas just start rushing at you, right? So, anybody else? Yes, Cassie says, I always...
So she's interacting with her viewers, but she is trying to, like, get their attention right away, definitely. Obviously, she can talk for 30 minutes because she has a huge following, a huge audience. We'll talk about how long your lives need to be, but I want to find her intro.
Or we're in the shower. And this just proves their fight with food and binge eating. Just an example, let's say your niche is help. It's really wordy. Hi to you. So this is what I want you guys to do.
Yeah.
An example of this would be, I help women break up with dieting.
All right. I don't know if I'll be able to find. Let me put my headphones back in.
Find her intro. But she literally, like, she has that down. Like, hi, I'm Angie Lee. I'm the founder of Rich Bitch TV, blah, 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 blah. I help women, or I help health coaches go from social media to sales. Is one of the things that either her or Jen say. So, like, it's the same intro every time they say it. So I highly recommend you guys try this video structure in a live this week. I am going to give you a little challenge to go live every day for the next 5 days, including myself. It does not have to be on your personal page. It can be in Fit Warriors. It can be in your private group, in your free group, in your challenge group. And it doesn't have to be very long. It can literally be like a minute, a quick tip. It doesn't have to follow this structure to start with. You need to get more comfortable and get on just saying something simple. Maybe you just need to get on and dance. Like today I shared a video of me lip singing. It wasn't live, but like that's entertaining people if you're a good dancer, or maybe if you're a really bad dancer, I don't know. But you definitely get out of your comfort zone. This is definitely something that's out of your comfort zone. You have to not think of freaking what other people might think, especially the people that are closest to you, because those are the people that may say something. You have to just tell them to screw off, that they are not who you are looking to attract. So it's cool. All right. Then after the live, you want to tap finish. You want to always upload as HD. So if you're not doing that already, you want to upload as HD. Something I need to remember to do. Then you want to save to your camera roll, because I don't know how many times, and I always forget this. I don't know how many times that I forget to save to my camera roll, and I'm mad, but I'm finished with my live and I forget to hit that little down arrow. Don't worry, I'll show you what to do. And it's even easier than I showed people before on what to do when you forgot to save your live video and you need it. Because you can repurpose that live video so many ways. You can add it to YouTube. You can, if you get so brave at some point in your business to create a podcast, you can move that to a podcast. So like that live we were just watching of Angie's, that's also one of her podcast episodes. She went live, she then took out that audio, and it's now one of her podcasts. She's repurposing that content. You also can actually transcribe that video. You can actually have somebody do this. You can hire somebody through Fiverr, Fiverr, I believe it is, who you can send them your video and they can transcribe it for you, and you can make it into a blog post, or you can take some of that content and use it for a Facebook post or an Instagram post. You can actually take Snapchat pictures out of your video as well. You want to go back and make it look polished. So like that part, I'm not sure how to do. I was trying to figure it out. So I need to see if I can do it on my computer, I think. And then share. So take your video, share it into different groups. If you didn't share it at the beginning, go share it into different places so that it is seen by more people. That's what it's all about. Okay. But really quick, if you don't know how to save your video when you're done with it, because maybe you want to send it to somebody. So you're going to go to your profile. You're going to go to videos. So under more, I'm going to go to videos. You guys, this is freaking genius. I was teaching you guys some real hard way. This is so much better. Then you go to your videos. And then you go to this little edit. And you say download. There's my video downloading to my computer. Now I have it on the computer, and now I can upload it to anywhere. Boom. I had taught you guys a much more difficult way than that. But I can also edit this video. I think this is where I can change the thumbnail. So this is where you can change the thumbnail. So see, I would not want that to be my thumbnail. Not really a great one. Like it did pick a pretty good one. It's me actually like cutting. But I can look through and see which thumbnail I want. Usually, there we go. We're going to go with that one. You can add things. You can add when. You can add a more description. Oh, you can do this here now? Hang on. Oh, so an SRT file is actually in a like page. It will do this for you. If you've ever seen a video and it has like the closed captioning, so you can read along while someone's talking, you can only do that on a like page. You can do it here, like if you had it transcribed yourself, and then you could upload that. That's way too much work. But in your like page, if you have one of those, which I do, but I don't use honestly, you can actually, it like does it for you, just so you know. So I'm going to save that. But really, I know for me, going live is all about just getting out of my comfort zone, not being afraid to share, and just having notes so that I have something to go off of. And yeah, it's really just that kind of getting out of my head, not being afraid of what other people think. So let me see what comments we have. And then I'll take any more questions. If you want to unmute and ask a question, we can do that. I feel that I look too much at my notes or get distracted by my kids. Just turning on Do Not Disturb, keep people from commenting or liking. No, that will not. Do Not Disturb just turns Do Not Disturb off your phone, not Facebook. So like you just won't get texts coming in. You won't get phone calls coming in during your live. So I know on the iPhone, you just swipe up and the little night or the little moon is Do Not Disturb. Okay. I'm not sure if you have an Android what it is. I'm sure there's something similar. It's also a good thing to do at night if in case your phone's like going off and you don't want Do Not Disturb. And then you can set like certain people that like can get through Do Not Disturb, I think. Looking at your notes is not a bad thing. If you actually watched when we were watching Angie, she kept looking down. I think she was actually looking at the comments, but she always is looking at her notes as well. So totally fine. And then getting distracted by your kids, for sure. You have to lock them out of your room. Just kidding. You have to make sure that, you know, that you are in a quiet place, that they aren't going to distract you too much, especially if you're talking about something like kind of on a serious note, or if you're following that structure that I shared, that that you're not getting distracted, because that is very distracting for you. And if it's distracting for you and taking you off topic, people are not going to be watching you. Okay. Sheila, I take my notes right to my computer, so it looks like I'm looking at them, and it makes me not look at myself, only at the camera. That's good. Plus it hides the comments from people because it distracts me. That is a great idea, Sheila, because I get easily distracted. So good job. And thanks for telling me I look amazing.
It was a tip from Brock Johnson's podcast. He is an amazing podcaster and tells you all these tips. So it was a tip, and I used it in my last live, and it really worked out awesome, I thought. Awesome. When I look back at it, I wasn't like staring at myself, I hate that. I was saying that whatever the website you showed us, that was a picture of you from the side, right?
Huh? Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that was gorgeous. I like that.
Oh, that picture. Yeah.
That really blown up picture.
That's me.
Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Thanks.
But you do look amazing right now, too.
Thanks. Yes, Brock Johnson is actually Chalene Johnson's son, if you guys didn't know. He has a podcast. He's like the Snapchat king right now. But he's also got a podcast, and you watch his Snapchats. But he has some really great tips. Obviously, he's learned from his mother, who's pretty amazing. So they're both really good. But he does give some good tips. Deborah had to go wrangle her kids to sleep. And Anna, awesome. Does anyone have any questions about going live? Anything I can help with? Anything at all? No? Really?
I think we should do a little challenge on your Fit Warriors page, like each of us take an hour of the day or something that we are like.
I wouldn't even want to make it that difficult.
No,
I just want people to.
Yeah, but if it's like they're set, like they have to, you know what I mean? Like we sign up for our time that we can do, and we have to do it at that time. You know what I mean? Like it'll make us do it. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's just a thought. Or that could be when we do it on our actual Facebook. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. Oh, you mean in Fit Warriors. Kind of like we're doing tip tag and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. I want people to do it outside of Fit Warriors and do it on their personal pages.
Well, yeah,
get comfortable. Sure. Like, guys, seriously, it can be no joke, like a minute. Not even. It can be like 30 seconds. You don't have to make it a long thing. Yeah. Just to get yourself comfortable at first. But you'll actually find probably that you can talk longer than you might think that you can. If you have, something good to talk about. Excuse me. All right. What else? So it's the end of the month, and I will be honest, I have not hit Success Club yet, which is crazy because this is really the first month that I'm like a full-time coach. But honestly, I was telling Melissa before everyone jumped on, I've been focusing on a lot of other things, like having the Fit Warriors website up for you guys. That training's awesome. So if you are in the Fit Warriors group, you will see that starting today, we are all going through basically Coach Phase 1 from day one together. So I'm posting in Fit Warriors to get us all over there to go through that, including doing the daily actions, coming over and commenting done. Some great stuff. It's the training straight from Beachbody. I just put it all in one place so that it's easy for new coaches to go through. And because I know we have a lot of new coaches coming on, I just thought it would be great to throw it right into our Fit Warriors page rather than having a separate new coach group, because it's not only good because it's a new thing for all of us. I think it's very important that all of us go through it, not just the new coaches. So that when you do have a new coach that joins, that you are able to tell them what is actually in that training, because it's new since many of you have joined. So it is something that is very important for you to do. So that's happening. I am going to hit Success Club, and so are all of you. So keep talking to people, keep inviting people. definitely got conversations going. I've got a lot of people. We have a sneak peek going on right now. It just started today. If you're not in it, go ahead and jump over there and get in it yourself. Even if you don't have someone, I'm putting the title of it so you can search for it and find it. It's called That Coach Life Backstage Pass. So go ahead and go over there and join that group, or it's an event, I'm sorry. Join that event just so that you kind of can see how that event is run. It's run by like 7 coaches are running it this time. And we've just each got a live, basically there's a couple lives a day, a couple posts a day, just really giving all the information to people who might be interested in joining our team. So that's exciting. And I've got like 6 people in there, so that's pretty fun. End of the month, just because it's the 28th, you still have 3 days after today to talk to people, invite to people, make sure you have something to invite them to. You always have to have a group or something to invite them to. A good way is to do a 3-day refresh group right after Labor Day. That's something that you could do, which is next week. So maybe you did it like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They really need to get their orders in by like tomorrow if you did like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, so that they have it in time. So that's something you can invite to. And really, it's never too late. Stop thinking about the time, because I know that's something I always worry about is there's not enough time to get people. Well, just put the invite out there and you never know what's going to happen. Okay. Anything else? I can't believe it's almost September. I'm excited. People are getting back into routines. This is a really good time for the business because kids are back in school. Teachers are back in school, so they're looking to get back into routines. Parents are back, so they're getting ready to get back in routines. Talk to people. Get them to join you in your amazingness. Any other questions? Anything else to share before we jump off? No? All right. I'm going to post a little challenge for you guys tomorrow morning to go live. And I want to see it. I'm going to check up on all of you. All right. I hope you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you later. Wait. Picture. Forgot. Hang on. Okay. All right. Ready? Smile. Okay. Thank you. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Have a good night. Bye.